G'day folks, welcome back to the channel. Today I am taking you through leg 4 of the USA trip 2025. This leg saw us start off at Monument Valley and eventually make our way down to Phoenix, but there was plenty of stops in between. If you notice this first stop, it's just outside of Monument Valley. It's Forrest Gump Point. It's where Forrest finally stopped running in Forrest Gump.
I'm pretty tired.
Then after we left Forrest Gump Point, we trekked our way up to Mexican Hat Rock, aptly named because it looks like a sombrero. After Mexican Hat Rock, we made the trek through the Navajo Nation on some pretty boring roads, I tell you what. They were pretty long and not a lot to look at, and I nearly fell asleep behind the wheel once too. But we eventually made our way down to a town called Holbrook, which started our journey on Route 66. We had lunch there. Our first stop was in Holbrook, and that was at the Wigwam Hotel with some pretty cool cars and teepee-like accommodation. We then made our way further west on Route 66, stopping in a few other locations along the way on our way through to Flagstaff.
I'm standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona, and such a fine sight to see.
Oh, shit.
Wow, look around. I know for most of you, this is your first time in space.
Oh,
Pretty amazing, huh?
We arrived at Flagstaff about middle to late afternoon, checked into the hotel, and I decided to go for an explore around downtown Flagstaff while Steve snuck in a quick nap. I had a good explore around downtown Flagstaff with Humphreys Peak as a backdrop. Eventually found my way back to the hotel, and a little later we tucked into some Papa John's for dinner.
Oof, Papa John's.
Before we made the trek down to Phoenix via Sedona, we checked out the Flagstaff lookout. And once again, Humphreys Peak was the main centerpiece.
Yeah, just keep going.
You can see this mountain miles away. It's quite amazing to see the scenery change from Flagstaff down to Sedona, especially with the rock formations. But we eventually made our way to the Sedona Airport lookout for a good look around. I'll show you some of that now. The closer we got to Phoenix, the more cactuses we saw, or is that cacti? Before we arrived in downtown Phoenix, we stopped in at Scottsdale to check out the TPC Scottsdale golf course. Then after that, we stopped in for lunch to sample some of the local brisket, and I'll tell you what, I wish I'd got more. It was very good. We checked into the hotel. This was one of the nicer hotels that we'd stayed at. We paid a little bit more for it, but location was the key here, as it was within walking distance to the Phoenix Arena and Chase Field. The first game we'd see was on Friday night when the Phoenix Suns took on the San Antonio Spurs, and then the following night was the baseball, where the Arizona Diamondbacks took on the Milwaukee Brewers. This was one of the final basketball games of the 24-25 season, so a lot of players missed out. No Kevin Durant when he was on the Suns, no Victor Wembanyama for the Spurs, and a couple of other players for both teams were out as well. Still got to see Devin Booker for the Suns, still got to see Chris Paul while he was playing for the Spurs, a legend in his own right. Probably a little bit disappointing. The game was a little underwhelming, but still a great experience. The following day we had a bit of time to kill, so we visited a local retail outlet, saw some Lego display, then we went to return the hire car. I got my picture next to a cacti, and then it was off to the baseball. Brewers were on top early in the baseball. The Diamondbacks weren't doing a whole lot. I enjoyed myself a world famous D-back dog, which was absolutely superb. But as the game wore on, so did some characters who came out to play after a little bit too much to drink. Not only was this character getting his kid off, he was also yelling out to one of the Brewers players, Jackson Cheerio, and calling him Chorizo. So I joined in on the fun there. Cheerio must have heard him yell out from the crowd because he hit a home run not long after, and this is where I got on TV. Sort of.
On his own 2 feet very nicely here.
Jackson Churio, a high drive, deep left center, way gone!
You can just see me there. Now, after the Brewers hit their 4th run at the top of the 9th to go 4-0 up, you'd be forgiven for leaving the game early. We weren't going to do that. We travelled all the way to see the game. But boy, were we in for a magnificent finish when the Diamondbacks scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 9th to come back over the top and win the game, much to the fans' delight. Quite a miraculous comeback from the D-backs. So it was great to see one of the better games of the year for the D-backs. They didn't have the best of seasons, just missed out on the postseason, but bigger and better things await for them next year. And as you can see, I'm sporting the hat at the moment. So that's all it's going to be for leg 4 of the USA trip 2025. One more leg to go where we fly to San Francisco, see the usual sights, including a tour of Oracle Park, home of the San Francisco Giants, before we catch a very delayed train on our way back for the final day in LA. So, I'll see you in that video.